Hey Twitch, we are back for the second part of our show tonight. Travis, Durian is in trouble with the council. So it seems.
He might be, he might not be, but I want to see what Buck's up to. So Buck, you just got done talking to several of the like city guards. They have a barracks kind of off center of the city.
That's true.
You were close. It was the easiest place to get to. Like, it might as well start somewhere, right? So
Yeah, I mean, it was really easy for me, and they gave zero fucks. So I mean, it was like kind of that mutual.
Yeah, they gave no fucks, but you eventually said like, I could offer some payment if I get some info.
Yeah.
You got a little more peppy of a response at that point, but they still like didn't know anything. Like,
No, they don't. Probably don't care. But maybe the money
yeah, maybe the money.
option will have them keep their eyes open or something.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah,
I would
what
probably
would
go
be your
to
next destination?
whatever is the next closest place in terms of like maybe like another bigger inn that's obviously not the place that we're staying at, like, or not an inn, a tavern, or an inn with a tavern. That would be pretty ideal.
An
They
inn,
see a lot
a
of customers.
tavern, an inn and tavern.
Yes,
Nice.
yes.
Yeah, so you start looking around. I mean, it's a huge city. It's the capital. Not only that, it's got the biggest temple to Palor in like the world, as far as anyone knows.
Yeah,
So it's a common pilgrimage site. So there are plenty of places to stay. A lot of inns and taverns and flop houses if you're really poor, and maybe brothels. Like, they don't advertise, but they probably exist.
I don't want to go to them. Because then if,
So,
like,
yeah.
what's her face sees me, she's gonna be all like, "I told you not to go to those," and I'll be like, "I'm just looking for information." So yeah.
Information. But yeah, but yeah. So like, where do you think your friend Thea would have stayed? Right, you're looking for info on her.
Actually, well, yeah, but I want to try and go to the next, like, a place that would see a lot of foot traffic and maybe might have heard of her or might have seen her. So, like, a
Sure.
place that looks like it's got a ton of people going in and out for drinks or entertainment or housing or whatever.
Yeah. So I think we see you like heading to an inn that you think like probably would have fit her style, right?
Okay.
So I think as we do, we get like uh seen in Fawn's mind. We see you, maybe a little younger Fawn, like she's maybe closer to the equivalent of a teenager or very early 20s, where she's a bit older now in human years.
Yeah.
And we see you like in the forest. You're like strapping Firefoot's saddle on. Firefoot is younger, slimmer. She's obviously a much younger horse at this point. But yeah, we see you like getting ready, and several other elves are around you, kind of like silently gearing up their horses and getting ready to ride off. And yeah, we see like Thea in the foreground, kind of prepping her animal as well. And we see her kind of like look over to you and say, "So, you ready, Rook?"
Yeah. Just, I would be saying this quietly, I suppose. Just gotta get Firefoot all hooked up here, and I'm ready to go.
You sure that little pony can hold you the whole way? We probably got some bigger war horses out back if you want to trade
No,
her
no,
in.
no, no, no. I kind of like pat Firefoot on the side, and I say, "This one's mine. This one's the one that's gonna carry me to where I need to go."
Yeah. She nods and says, "You ever been out on a scouting party before?"
How you like? Does Fawn look like she's been out at all? No.
Yeah, I mean, you tell me. Like, she's obviously younger at this point.
Yeah. So, I would reply, well, I mean, I've tagged along in the back occasionally, but, this is my first time without, I suppose, supervision. A little bit excited, but I don't think those war horses are for me. I like to be a little bit lighter, quieter, faster.
She nods and says, "That's good, that's good. That means you won't be captured as easily. Remember, we're not here to win the war in a day. You get spotted by some dwarves, you're gonna be surrounded real quick. Remember, they come up out of the ground. Just keep your head about you, and like I said, don't try to win the war in a day. We're here to get information so we can make a difference later.
Got it. And Fawn kind of like looks around nervously and like wrings her hands a little bit, like, you know, out of nerves, and then kind of goes back to, you know, putting together 5-foot stuff, checking and rechecking and triple checking and quadruple checking.
Yeah, and we see Thea nod and like go back, and she's not much older than you. But it's obvious that she's been like doing this for a couple of years, and she's kind of like making sure you're okay. And I think we fade back into the city as you come across this tavern and head in. It looks like the type of place she would probably frequent. What does that look like? What's her style in taverns?
So she's
or at
not,
least the best you can think.
Yeah, so she wouldn't be quite like ragtag, like, you know, running into a Deadpool type saloon. But, you know, she would perhaps be at a place that's got some of the rougher types that are quiet. Place where you can, you know, gather information and size up other people that might be looking to, you know, take you on to work with, or, you know, people who are just trying to get away from the brawls at other taverns. So that's somewhere in between the underlings of the city and normal folk.
Yeah, nice. Awesome. Give me a perception check as you walk in.
25.
Yeah. So you you know,
oh wait,
this,
it's actually plus two more to that. I forgot that we leveled up. So
there you go. Yeah. So awesome. So 27. Yeah, you spot a tavern that's like her likely spot. It's, you know, down a narrower road. People go in and out, but it's not rowdy or loud. And as you walk in, you spot, like, you know, it could be just scratching above the door, but it looks like some kind of symbol. Not your area of expertise, but you know that big cities like these always have some kind of, like, thieves guild or, you know, gangs that run the street. Like, you don't know what it is, but it could easily be some kind of symbol, like a mark of a group of some kind.
So can I tell in terms of script who it might be? I can't read anyways, but could I tell in terms of?
It's not writing. It's like a you know, a mark.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to metagame anything. So I kind of, you know, look at it, observe it. If I have, do I have some paper?
Yeah. I don't want to discourage you from asking questions, but it's not like a word.
No, I know. I wanted to draw it.
Sure, absolutely.
So I would probably I would probably have some scrap paper or something to draw battle plans. So I would pull something out and like quickly just do a quick 15-second sketch and be like, maybe Durian will know something about it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's maybe like a couple of wavy lines hitting what looks like a step or steep line. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I just quickly jot that down, and I'm like, meh, whatever. Throw it in my pocket.
If you wouldn't mind, I didn't mean to do that.
I do mind.
Why don't you jot right there what I described?
There it is.
Yeah. So it'll be the brush and freehand's probably your easiest way to go.
Yeah. So it's like, oh god, it's really hard to draw with a mouse.
A couple of wavy lines. Yep. Running into a steep line. So like steps.
Oh, like steps.
But it's whatever you draw is the symbol you see. Like, you draw it accurately.
Okay.
So.
There we go.
It's rather phallic. There are two orb-like. Okay.
A will-o-wisp appears.
Someone's impersonating someone else.
Yeah.
No, it was red, so it's no one. It's not
Oh.
Some jerk. Probably Durian. Anyways.
So yeah, like that's the symbol you see above, kind of above the door. it's like you don't have any insight into that type of thing, but you're
That's
really
fine.
good at noticing shit. So
That's
yep,
fine. Yeah,
you
not
see
a big
it.
deal. All right, so I check and see if the door is locked or if it's just something I can go in and
No,
if
it's a tavern.
unlocked.
It's open. Like it's
Oh,
open
okay.
for
It's
business.
it's just open for business. All right, I walk in and I guess I just kind of survey my surroundings and make sure that I'm not in any imminent danger.
Yeah.
And I try
Yeah,
to like
I'm-
survey like I guess what is the ratio to men and women? Who's talking to who? I guess like what types of people are talking to other types of people. Just basic stuff, real quick.
Sure, yeah. So you're 27 holds. You're pretty observant right now. And yeah, you see a half orc at the bar. He is tall, broad, but slimmer than you would expect. And you just like you take a quick glance up and down and like, all right, that's not someone to mess with.
No,
You know
not a fan
the
of them.
yeah, the type that doesn't need to work out to be dangerous. You look around, and there are several of the seedier types. Everyone, despite the bright day, the windows are shaded. The room is cloaked in kind of semi-shadow. Everyone, it seems, in the entire place is wearing a cloak and hood because, of course, they are.
Of course.
One or two people have their, are showing their face, and those are usually very large, like human men, kind of like, I don't need to hide myself in here. But
Yeah,
overall, it seems like any conversations are whispered. Several heads turn to glance at you, and then turn quickly away as though, nah, I'm not worried about that.
Nothing to
person.
worry about,
They're,
yeah.
They're
Okay.
not the person I'm worried about.
Okay.
And yeah, you get the idea that this is a place to speak quietly and find information, find certain
Okay. So
things.
I would walk up to the bar then.
Yeah.
You said the half work is just standing at the bar, not
Yeah,
not the
he's
bartender.
Yeah, no, he's behind the bar. He's
Shit.
wiping out a mug, and he's like doing it casually, but he's been side eyeing you the whole time.
Okay. I would as quietly as possible step up to the bar and take an empty seat. Doesn't really matter who I sit next to.
Mhm.
And kind of flag him over to try and order a drink. I would, if there was a price sign, I would already have my money out ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah, there's fucking most people in the world at this point can't read. So, yeah, there's not
okay.
like a list of daily specials.
Alright.
You get out some money, he nods and says, "What are you having?"
I'll have whatever you recommend. Bartender's choice.
He nods and slides away 3 copper and brings you a mug of ale. Says, "Anything else I can get you?"
I would kind of can I do? Let's see. I would like to sleight of hand this if possible, where I'm
Sure.
going to pull some gold out of my pocket. I'll pull out like 5 gold, and I'll pull it out of my pocket and kind of like be palming it, but in such a way that it shows it to him that I have gold in my hand and
Yeah.
say, I'm
He
looking.
can see it, but other people can't.
Yeah, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like, I'm looking for a friend of mine,
Sure.
a woman that looks like me. I was wondering if you could perhaps help.
Yeah. He glances down, says, "Depends if I've seen her or not. What's she look like?"
Much like me, only a woman, of course. Fiery red hair, fiery eyes, a lot of spirit to her. I heard that she might be somewhere here, but that's kind of where my information runs dry.
Yeah. He nods and says, "This woman have a name?"
Thea. Thea. Jeez. I have to put out pronunciation for myself.
It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, you say Thea, and yeah, give me a just a D20.
Okay.
I know what it's for.
14.
14. Cool. I actually have to look at your sheet for that because that's not either really high or really low.
Well, if you're looking for sleight of
what's
hand,
your,
it's a plus
yeah,
4.
what's your sense motive check?
Oh, since
Yeah, because I don't.
it's only plus 2.
Oh, it's plus 2. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, he nods and he's not like reaching out for the gold. He went back to kind of polishing the mug. And he says, "That depends who's looking for."
I get real interested and I kind of like, keep I keep the money in a way that is viewable, but kind of like lean on my hands and lean forward and I say an old friend. She used to call me a rook when we first started to get to know each other. Long time ago back at home.
He nods and looks at his mug, sees that it's nice and clean. You can see that despite the look of this place, the mug you have is spotless. The one he just finished with is spotless. He sets it down, picks up another one, and starts polishing it. Says, "Well, if I see her, I can pass that along."
That would be very helpful. I would appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I would tell him that she can find me at the Rabid Dog.
He nods and says, "I'll mention that if I see her." It's been a while.
Do I? Oh, okay. I was gonna say if I notice him, I guess hanging on the word "if I see her" or not. Like if I could tell how long he's seen her according to the "if" part. I just say thank you. I appreciate your assistance, and I would take my time to finish my drink. I wouldn't just leave, and I just kind of try and survey my surroundings using my peripherals mostly. And I would
peripherals.
Yeah, my peripherals.
The periffs.
My periffs, yes. And I
It's
would
a blonde woman or maybe a coat rack. I'm not sure.
whatever. Okay, I'm not trying to view stuff behind me, guys. I'm an elf, not like a rear view mirror. So yeah, I would leave him, a silver piece as a tip then.
Okay. Yeah, he nods, slides it back, and says, "Good luck. I haven't seen her in a while."
I give him a slight frown when he says that, just so he can tell that I'm serious in a sense that that seems to concern me.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
Awesome. So cool. You finish your drink and head out. And can I get one more perception check as you do?
Yeah. Let me. Okay. 21.
Awesome. Well, actually, I'm sorry, that should be an opposed roll, to be fair. Ooh, that's really interesting. Okay, yeah. Just looking one thing up here quick.
That's fine. I'm taking my notes and taking the money off my sheet.
Okay. All right. Can I get you to re-roll that?
Yep.
Because that was actually a tie.
25.
25 and okay. So yeah, as you're heading out, you finish your drink, kind of look both ways before you do, and the interesting thing about a medieval world is in reality it's pretty bland, right? It's a lot of wooden buildings, a lot of gray stone, a lot of undyed clothes. So that's kind of what makes the shock of pink hair proceeding down the road stand out quite so much. And I think we see you, Buck, catching a glance at that, and then I think we slide over to Caben. Caben, you and Nina have been asked to chill out for a while. right now, like you're on the kind of office level of the temple, but as Melissa brings like another pair of people through a very very stately, like tall, very like nicely robed and set up human,
Mhm.
and one of the elves you noticed from the procession. Maybe you saw him just at the end as they were going through the gates. But yeah, they go into the office, and she stops and says, aren't are you two supposed to be here still? Do you want me
They
to lead you downstairs?
they told
The
us to
temple's
wait.
still open.
They told us to wait here, and they will bring us the Savrifos. They were going to talk. She was going to talk to us afterwards.
Here in the hallway?
I
It might be a while. Why don't you come down to the
Don't know.
temple or the library? I mean, you can sit on the floor. That's fine, but
Is it literally just a hallway to like the Savrifos door? That's all it is?
it's like the hallway to several offices.
Okay.
So it's like, there aren't really benches set up here. It's meant like this is where you go into a room and do your business or whatever. But yeah, it's not adorned with a sitting couch.
Okay. If we were to go back towards where like the library or whatever was, how far away is that?
It's like the floor down.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
I guess I'm okay
Durian's
with that.
like right behind us, right? Basically in the room.
He's behind a door and a wall, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, Caben, our Lord is in that room. Should we not wait here for him? As good guards.
I don't think we're guarding anyone here.
Shouldn't we be guarding him?
No.
And
I don't know.
you see the girl say, excuse me," and she like presses herself against the wall as like another group of like high-ranked priests walk through.
Yeah.
I do see
You
your
can see
point
she's
about
just like kind of
transfer.
nervous, like, am I supposed to let these people up here? So
Sure.
what do you tell her?
I say,
you-
sure, show us the way to the sitting area.
I'm just also going to be like, so are you new here? Out of curiosity, you look very nervous.
Me? I've worked here for a couple of years. I was raised as an orphan in the church. They're teaching me jobs. Please, if you want to talk, I have a break coming up soon. The library has a lot of seats. It's very quiet. It's very nice good place to sit and wait. Maybe read some. And she kind of looks at Caben and like looks at your clothing. They have some picture books. They're very nice.
Lol.
I
think that was an insult.
I head downstairs after like saying I can read, thank you, and keep on walking and leave her behind.
Oh yes, of course. Okay. Thank you. And like Nina, do you follow? Do you talk to this girl?
I guess I follow, but I'm pretty sure she just insulted Caven. That's like not a good sign.
Yeah, she's like coming down the stairs too. Like, I'm sorry. I'm just, I have to bring messages and bring people around, and well, it's all the offices of the higher priests, and it's the hallways are a bit narrow. This tower, I think, was designed more as a fortress.
Well, against dragons, was it not?
Well, it was actually built before the Great Dragon Wars, though it was reinforced during them. And actually, have you ever heard the history of the tower? The tower was actually struck by several attacks from dragons back in the old days. The fascinating subject, actually. Yes, they attacked several times. Several sections of the tower were damaged, but it never fell, even against the might of the dragons themselves. It was said to be Palor's benevolence smiling down on us. Well, have you heard of the dragons? I mean, are you from the area? And she's like talking to you now, Nina, because Caben's like,
Yeah, I'm gone.
I have none
well-
of that. She's like walking with you down the hallway if you're coming with her.
Yeah, I coming down with her, I guess, but just be like, what'd she ask? Sorry?
She
Uh,
asks, "What
do
do
I
you
have-
know about dragons?" Basically, and like, fascinating subject. They have so many books on it in the library. It's just, well, I try and read whenever I can. I'm not very good. I'm still learning it.
Well, I mean, big winged, scary creatures. They spit mostly fire. Question mark.
Actually, several different dragons can make different types of attacks. It's said that they channel the power of the elements from their magical being. Others think they have tiny stars inside of them, each of which shoot out some type of power, lightning or fire. Obviously, an acid star. I'm not a researcher, but maybe.
I'll look at her, Travis, and I'll be like, well, the ones I've been hearing of late have just been spitting nothing but fire. Like the one south.
There's a dragon to the south.
There
Oh,
was a
do you
dragon
mean
to the south.
do you mean the one in Platinus? No, some people took care of that. Platinus military, I think. I don't know.
I just
She
know it when she says Platinus military.
Yeah, she says, I don't know, the details were kind of sketchy and then the war started. I mean, you would have hoped they would have taken more time to study it, but I don't know that
Well-
there are any other dragons here for several kingdoms.
Well, Platinus, the people in Platinus are not exactly the smartest.
Did you just choke slam your dog?
No, I'm trying to push her off my chair. She's trying to barrel me down, apparently.
There you
Those
go.
people from Platinus are idiots.
I mean, if
she's
you're
just having
channeling
stuff like
Nina,
that.
you would have just lifted the dog up and just like.
I mean, I
Awesome.
can, but she's still 30 kilos. She's a very heavy dog.
Nice. That's like a lot of pounds. Exactly
Yeah,
how many? I don't know.
But yeah, like the people in Platinus are not exactly the smartest.
66
people.
pounds.
It's 2.2. I did actually.
I had to
sorry,
Google it.
sorry. Reel us back in. She nods and says, you said the people of Platinus are what?
Not exactly the smartest bunch of people.
She like giggles softly and says, well, I mean, they are winning the war. It seems like they pretty well crushed Taurus, but Taurus has a strong navy and, well, she shrugs, like, seems like people are still coming north, though, so.
Oh, they're winning the war. That's first I've heard of that. I thought it was pretty much deadlock because one was getting their butt kicked in the waters.
Well, like I said, maybe you win a land battle, but if you can't restart trade, things could be locked up for some time. I don't know.
That's good point.
This is what I hear. There are a lot of... She kind of looks like left and right. Like, there are a lot of important people that move up and down these stairs. She says, it's surprising what you can hear. She goes,
Really? So
Give the walls of the tower.
Yeah.
to protect us."
So then what's happening is Taurus on the verge of defeat. Just
She
like,
shrugs,
it's a matter of
says-
time.
Like I said, I don't know the details. Seems like the ships in the water are keeping the ports closed.
Hmm.
Yeah, and you ask her that, and you give her an appraising look, and she's 12, 13, but she seems to be pretty well on top of a lot of the gossip that's going around.
Do you know what's... Seem to really know your thing, and the Elven Nation, surely, if you know so much about blindness, you must know the reason why they're here.
She like laughs and says, "Well, I should ask you that. You're meeting with them. Well, you're. I'm sorry. He didn't look much more important than you. Is he really your lord?"
Sadly, yes. Though, I mean...
You shouldn't speak that way of your lord. And you can see she's like totally joking. She's like, that guy
Alright,
really?
well... I mean,
He has flowers on his arm.
he is unconventional. I'll give you that, but
I mean, he smells nicer than most of the knights that come in here. You think they'd never taken a bath?
well, he's also smarter than most of the knights you'll meet. From
That's
personal
not hard.
experience, it's like from personal experience, they don't seem very bright.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't mean to shuffle you out of the way, but like I said, the library's a good spot for information. If you want to read more on the dragons, you can certainly check them out. Is there anything else I can help you with? Yeah,
She
and
actually takes
Nina,
a second
roll-
to pause.
Yeah, Nina, roll me a persuasion. Like what's good charisma? I think persuasion.
Persuasion doesn't exist. I think you mean diplomacy.
Diplomacy. Yeah.
Joyful
Charisma
quiz
check.
I have. Okay, well, this ought to be interesting. Come
It's
on,
not a
that's
hard
20.
check.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you can tell like this girl seems to chat pretty openly with you. She's like, another human in this, bunch of fucking
Oh.
foreign diplomats I have to like move around. Like, you're young, you're human. You seem to like have all this cool fucking armor and this like gnarly scar on your neck. She's like, you can tell she's like very open to talking with you.
How long did you say it was until you had a break?
Pretty soon. Actually, should I bring up some refreshments for you and your grumpy elven friend?
Don't pay him too much money. He's it's not that he's grumpy, it's just he has a lot going on. Like, if I was in his situation, I would probably be the same at the moment. Let's just
what's
say, personal issues, family issues, not too much to get worried about.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, some refreshments would be nice.
Yeah, I'll bring a tray of something up to the library. It's a lot quieter in there, easier to talk.
Indeed, it is. And
Yeah,
you
grab
just
a
see
seat.
Nina start to smile.
I'll be up in a few minutes, and yeah, she like leaves you off at the entrance to the library, which you've been at before, and like hurries down the stairs. Yeah, I think you head into the library and roll me a perception check, please.
And I actually need to look at my new perception.
Oh yeah, you picked that up.
Yeah, I mean, I can't
You-
let all the elves have all the fun.
You also reminded me of something I completely forgot, and I'm amazed my players haven't reminded me of. We need to roll
Oh,
hit
HP.
points.
Yay!
I was just hoping it wouldn't come up.
Let me just
I'm
say I
scared
think we
to
should
roll.
roll HP.
Right now?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
So,
okay.
so for viewers, sorry we've been off for a few weeks. And we did level up since last session. So what we usually do is add in characters' abilities and spells and increase skills. But we like to roll hit points live. So I think we will start in alphabetical order. So Allison, you are the first one alphabetically on my Skype. If you can roll me your HP. So what is that for a ranger?
Oh, God, jeez.
It's a trap!
It's a D8 plus con, right?
Thanks.
I think so for ranger, but it's different
Alright.
between systems. So let me confirm. That is.
My hit
That's
dice on
like
my
a-
sheet. Sorry.
Yep. Nope, you're good. D8
Okay.
plus con.
So D8. That's it.
Big money, big money, big money, big
It's a
money.
trap!
Okay, money.
Okay, money.
Okay, money.
Mediocre.
50
Wait.
54.
Do you have the con mod?
No, I don't.
Oh.
Oh.
It's okay.
I'm
All my
gonna-
wisdom
that's so
charisma are all
There
negative,
you
so.
go. All right, so Jimmy, you're the next one alphabetically. Roll me some HP. So that for you
Got
is
one.
a D6 plus con. For the bard, big money.
Not bad.
Ah,
Okay,
all right.
money as well.
There you go.
45. 45.
And now our two tankier members. Josh, that's a D10 plus
Yes!
con.
Nice!
All right,
Above average.
Nice!
there you go.
Keep us
Good
alive,
job.
Josh. Keep us alive.
Yeah,
and
80
now
hit
the
point.
one I think with the biggest con bonus of the entire team.
Alright, here
So-
we go.
Is that
Big money.
Big
hey,
money.
what's the con?
Boom.
Hey, that's not bad.
That's above
Pretty
average.
good.
Still.
Pretty good.
There you go. Nice.
Alright, I'm updating my sheet.
Cool. Yes, please do that, and please save.
Right.
Already
Save.
saved.
Update my.
All right. Awesome. So yeah, we see Nina head into the library, and she needs to roll me a perception check quick before we switch the scene.
So I think I rolled a 17.
Oh, that was your perception check.
Yep.
Excellent. Cool. So you see the map on the wall that you and Durian were looking at before. And you do see a the area of Ariadnish kind of labeled out, the lake, the spell-scarred plains, the border to the south with Tien. And you also notice to the north an area of hills called the Fallcrest Bluffs. And that's a name that might ring a reminder in your conscience, in your
Yeah, because that's where he said he saw a phoenix. Right. In the last couple 100 years.
So I think we switch over and we see a
Oh,
room.
sorry.
Yes.
Just, I went downstairs library. I want to look up. I don't need to roleplay this at all, but I want reading up on like the information I was looking for earlier, pregnancy stuffs, like how I can determine.
Ooh, yeah. Awesome. So I think we'll see that in a bit.
Yeah, that's fine. Just you know.
So yeah, we see Nina kind of like talk to Melissa, see her go down the stairs. Nina walks into the library and kind of looks over at this map, and we see her eyes narrow. And then we swipe over to a room full of diplomats and high priests. Durian, everyone is seated at this point. You're next to Stavrofor Miriam, and she's kind of done the introductions and the explanation of basically of the letter that Stavrofor Edwin wrote on your behalf, explaining what you told him, what you had found, and she kind of says, she says, Sir Durian here observed the dragons firsthand, and I thought it would be only proper to hear from him his first-hand impressions. Sir Durian, obviously the note from Stavrofor Edwin explained many things, but is there anything you would like to add about this Marquise, her offspring? Any other dragons you have seen along the way? Yeah, and what the camera pans over to Durian. You're seated like directly opposite of your uncle. There are these priests to your right, the Cien counselors and dignitaries to the left. Are you still there, buddy? Okay.
Blowing my nose.
Oh, nice. Thank you for muting. So yeah, you see like this array of very important people in very nice clothing in a very stuffy room. And what do we see when the camera pans over to Durian? Are you like sweating? Are you like nodding politely and smiling? Like, what is Durian's countenance right now?
Outwardly, I'm nodding. I maybe glance as she's making introductions or saying why we're there. But really, I'm just locking eyes with my uncle.
Okay. So you're trying to like
No, and I'm
Just-
just staring at him. I'm just. But
Okay.
that's
Fight,
when
fight.
I'm not doing anything polite. But I guess this is mentioned about the dragons, and I said, Stavrofor, forgive me. I know that you wrote a missive, but I do not know all of its contents, so I don't know where to begin for all the
No,
counselors.
please. The missive was from Stavrofor Edwin in Oryx Hold.
Oh, correct.
If it's at all incomplete, please do enlighten us. I think he wrote that with the idea that you might not be going this direction, or.
Do they have it here? Do you have it here?
Yeah, she like stutters for a bit and then like goes to her desk, pulls it out, and hands it to you. And it's like a rough summation of what you've said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Well, of what you've experienced. So.
yeah. So I think it's silent in there, and there's some rustles of paper.
Yeah,
And I
and
flip
while
through
you're
things.
doing that, so what does Durian look like for the audience? So it's been a while. Are you adorned in like your full armor and weapons and everything? Like, cause you heard like.
I do not have my crossbow with me, but my rapier is in its not a scabbard, but it's
Yep.
whatever
Yeah,
slot it would be in.
Yep.
I guess I am wearing the floral armor, but I have on my elements of my fancy outfit, that I've had
Okay.
on since I've been in town.
Yeah, like your fine cloak. Do you pin like your Knights Draconis medal out there? Do you have
Mhm.
your 2 rings on? You had the
Yes, both
okay.
of them. Yeah, I guess they're on 2 different fingers now, but
Yep.
one
So a
with
couple
the
of-
red cap's tooth and one with the one who played the
Bantray tooth.
Bantray tooth. Yeah. So,
So
So
you're
I-
like, and I assume since you've been de-squirrelified and whatnot, have you kept your like beard trimmed, haircut? Like, did you get the full? Because you've had a few days in this city.
Oh yeah, the minute we
That's the
were in
capital.
town and that I knew that I felt that it kicked the illness or whatever, I cleaned up. And I mean, we came in here on, at least whether or not it helped us or not, on my name as a lord. So I've
Sure,
kept up that appearance the whole time. So I maybe a minute, maybe less, flip through the note and I set it down and I say, perhaps the full tale, whether or not it is repeat information, is worthwhile, at least in abbreviated form.
Please, by all means.
And I explain. If you want me to tell it all, Travis, here
You
I
can
go
give us a
through
summation.
and I essentially say one of our traveling companions who had, I say it's Buck, or one of the elves. I said who was traveling. I don't say the name.
I
say
think
had
Miriam
fallen.
steps in and says, "An affliction."
Yeah, had fallen ill, and we took to the spell-scarred plains because we believed that ingredients, or we were told by Stodfor Edwin that we could recover certain ingredients for a particularly difficult cure. Along the way, we also agreed to gather medical supplies that are difficult to come by. The time in the plains was fraught with peril, and it wasn't until after we had collected everything that we happened upon an entrance to the underground in some sort of ruins of a keep or a town. And beneath it, far beneath it, is where we met the Marquise and her brood.
Yeah, and I think at this point, Lady Tegan kind of bumps in and says, "Very noble of you to gather such supplies, but why were you exploring underground caverns? Was there something that prompted you to go down there?"
It was on our way back, at least from how far we had wandered in the plains. It turned out that, yes, we were accosted, but it was curiosity that brought us to the ruins. We knew our reputation, I'm sure, with the council precedes us, but
She
great.
smiles at you and nods.
the Grand Shima and others may not know that we have seen our fair share of adventure between Palatinus and here over these past almost a year now. Um,
Nice, good touch.
and I, despite coming up in station in my life and in the reputation of my friends and companions, we're interested in seeing what there is to find amongst ruins. I wish we hadn't have gone in because what we found was not worthwhile.
And Lady Tegan kind of nods and says, "You found a dragon, it seems."
Not intentionally. We found a people, a strange speaking rodent-like people. It's irrelevant to the function of the letter I sent, but it is their plight. They spoke of some mysterious danger, and we were already underground in their holds, and we figured we would, on our way out, because they suggested that the danger was blocking the way to an alternative exit to the underground, we would investigate it for them.
Yeah. So while you're telling this story, I mean, you see a few incredulous looks. Give me the better of your diplomacy, or is there perform oratory? Because
Yes.
you're a fucking storyteller, right?
Yeah,
Like-
so there's perform oratory.
Yeah. So why don't you give me an oratory roll? Because even if you're trying to be factual, does Durian maybe spice that up a little bit with his storytelling ability?
I think I'm working to make it. It's not so much that I'm making it fantastical that would play in a tavern, but I'm making it
It's more of the hero's journey, right?
logical and connected.
Yeah.
And I describe the dangers that drove us underground to make it clear, half men, half scorpions, but making sure that the details kind of
Oh yeah, you
make
gotta
a
fight a few
coherent.
monsters along the way. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
but
yeah, and
the
let's not forget
details
the
all need to be
arcane line.
coherent, basically.
Yeah.
This is my main storytelling focus.
Okay, a
but-
little less Gilgamesh, a little more what, Iliad?
Yeah, or like, yes, exactly. Maybe a little less of all those things and a little more like
In other words, everyone falls asleep.
Ulysses by James Joyce, where it's kind of
Okay.
fantastical, but it's just telling about what happens in his day.
Okay. Yeah. No. Give me a roll.
I did. It's a 27. It's in there. see it?
Oh yeah. No, it just came through now. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Awesome. So yeah, you see a few skeptical looks, but you explain like the sound they made when they clacked their fucking scorpion man pincers and how you got chased and you fucking ran from them because they're terrifying, right?
Yep.
And the people you met along the way and the fish they ate from the underground river and the smell they had, you make it
And I
seem
think
real.
I fill in some lore that I may or may not know for sure, but that speculation that they were
Yeah.
once people, and some terrible magic of the plains had warped them into this form, and
I think a couple of the priests start discussing, quietly to the whole room, but amongst themselves, discussing like the magic of the spell-scarred plains and how magic runs amok and can wildly change the properties of the creatures and the plants and everything around there. So they kind of have that short discussion, and then they ask you a couple questions and basically prod you on to continue the story. And it seems they're taking you very seriously.
Yeah, I nod and I say, well, this is where it got to perhaps the matters that are most interesting. We went into the dark tunnels that were beyond their underground homeland, if you will, and in search of a way out, essentially. And we knew that there would be danger between us and the way out, and didn't know what that danger what form it would take. And it first just turned out to be out of character, Travis. I forget what kind of dragons we said they were, because we did identify them.
You did, yes. You identified them from Mizuti's teachings, as probably being magma dragons.
Magma dragons, that's right.
Yeah, so underground, very elemental, like powerful fire dragons. When you were in the Marquise's lair, there were like rivulets of lava that were obviously purposeful, like created like rivers. They had the
They were part of
kobolds.
the lair, yeah.
Yeah, the kobold city looked like it was carved out of ash-scarred stone and artificial glass. And the hive that she lived in was basically a temple with fire lakes and let's just say environmentally it would not have been a very good idea to fight her. But yeah,
Yeah.
like,
So I
it
explained
was
that we
very well designed as a dragon's lair of just fucking fire and lava and ash.
So I described that, and I described how we ran into two young creatures that I could only take to be from my teachings from Masudi and the Lady Lasantha as well, to be perhaps a lava dragon or some sort of underground elemental dragon. It lived among lava and fire, and I describe the surroundings, and I say we met two of them, and
Yeah, and I
First-
think from your descriptions, like again, the priests, like they're studied in dragons. Like this country's got a dragon phobia. You've gotten that feel.
yeah.
So they discuss it and they ask you a few questions and they agree with your assessment. And then just to speed things along, can I assume you like describe the older one you run into?
I
do
say
you
that
have
we-
a name?
Yes, it's on my notes. or
It's in
whatever.
your notes. Yeah.
Yeah. But perhaps I don't recall it right now. I just say what might be an elder brother or an uncle to these young ones. I describe our interaction, communicating with them, killing one of them, fleeing after the other, bargaining.
Do you keep the bargaining thing in there?
Yeah, I
So
admit,
you're going for very much honesty in the tale of the magma dragons, at least.
it's
Do you
bargaining because there
include-
was only.
Bargaining for my life. I believe that was
It's such a sore spot for Buck.
yeah. I mean, I'm not there, but Allison, am asking as a person.
Yeah.
Do you
I
include that?
bargained. I talk about bargaining for Buck's life and then for our lives in of itself
Oh,
at
okay.
the end.
Do you
Oh, okay.
mention Nina playing like liar's dice, basically?
Yes, I do. I leave entirely out about Plergoth.
Okay, yeah. So you give the full story, and that you rescued this squirrel man, this squirrel person, wise man, and you just leave it at that part. You don't go, yeah,
Yes,
and he
exactly.
transformed into a dragon. You just leave that last part out.
And I even, unless it's pursued, I even downplay it. I said we were told to investigate. Perhaps there was a wise man of this tribe down there, but really we were looking for knowledge and escape. And
Yeah,
we
yeah.
were in too deep to not bargain for our lives by the time we
Yeah.
got down there.
So you rescued the wise man, you found your way out of the caves, but you know of this dragon, and obviously, like, the centerpiece to your story is the Marquise herself, right? And
Yeah.
you're, like, hit by a bevy of questions. Even your uncle asks one or two. Like, you can tell, like, he's keeping the poker face on, but give me a sense motive check.
Yeah, so, and I am, by the way, I've also put in there that there were kobolds, but particularly advanced kobolds, perhaps,
Yeah.
Spell
They,
building,
you describe the city that they're in, the fact that they're under the thrall of this Marquise, and yeah, kind of describe the setup.
Not well. Only a
Um,
9.
No, your uncle. To be fair, this is an opposed roll, and he beats a 9. Yeah, he's like poker face. Like,
It's fine.
yeah, maybe his questions seem like smart enough, but is he asking them because he wants to know? Is he asking them because he doesn't want to look like he's not, paying attention or doing his part at the meeting?
Does
like,
he think I'm a liar? Yeah, I don't really know.
Yeah, like you get nothing.
Well, and I make sure to compare the young red dragon of Recumen from Platinus to
Ah,
the different
okay.
beasts that we see, and say
Sure.
that's why I concluded that I mean, the Marquise was terrifying and enormous, but knowing what I did about Recumen and deducing this is an ancient and powerful dragon with possibly more offspring than we even saw.
Yeah, and give me one final. I think this would be a persuade check.
It's got to be. There's no persuade.
Diplomacy. Sorry.
Diplomacy, not oratory. Got it. Doesn't matter because I also have pretty...
basically what you're doing here.
Oh no!
So that one.
Ooh.
Yeah. What
okay.
happens now?
This is going.
That is a good question. So you tell your story of meeting these dragons and fighting a few of the younger ones and making a deal with one of the older ones and then basically bargaining for your life with the eldest, the Marquise herself. And you see some skeptical looks from the CN priests. And I think we'll go over to Caben. So you're searching some books. You're looking through for some knowledge on spell work. You want to know if you can find a potion of Maury Povich.
Yes, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Yes, that's what I'm looking for.
You want to know if it is indeed your child. So like the library is huge. There are librarians that are helping people. Where do you go? Where do you start? Do you just start looking at books? Do you look at sections? Do you ask someone for help?
I asked is there a section covering pregnancy, life, like a life section? I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's an older man that Nina and the audience would recognize behind the desk and says, You want to learn about life, young man? Well, I learned that you can learn more by experiencing it. And he's got like that's a dad joke look to him.
Yeah, I just like blank face.
But perhaps you have a more targeted question.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Because you asked him for the life section. Can I
okay.
ask what it is?
Oh, he just wants more information. Okay. I tell him,
Yes.
I'm looking, is there a way to, figure out if a woman who's pregnant, if it's your child?
Oh, my boy, is there ever? And he, clasps you on the back and starts walking you into the books. And I think this is a good time for our second break.
Okay, cool. Well, that was, short and sweet, I guess.
Yeah,
All right, guys.
I like how my rolls declined as
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, cool. Guys, thanks for watching. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break. Please stay tuned. We'll be back right away. Thanks for watching.